America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, and apparently, the epicenter of anti-Trump sentiment. In recent days, the nation has witnessed an unprecedented wave of protests, a collective outcry against the policies and rhetoric of the former president. This past Saturday, over 1,200 locations across all 50 states erupted in protest, a sea of dissent not seen since Trump's inauguration back in 2021. The sheer scale of these demonstrations is a testament to the deep-seated frustrations that have been simmering for years. From the bustling streets of New York City to the sunny shores of Los Angeles, Americans made their voices heard loud and clear. The diversity of the protesters, spanning all ages, races, and backgrounds, highlighted the widespread discontent. This wasn't just a homegrown affair, folks. The wave of discontent crashed onto international shores too. People around the world stood in solidarity, echoing the sentiments of their American counterparts. London, Paris, Berlin, they all joined the chorus, proving that Trump's brand of politics has a knack for uniting people across borders, even if it's in opposition. The global response underscored the far-reaching impact of his policies. This wasn't just another day at the office for America. This was a full-blown national movement, a visceral reaction to years of pent-up frustration and anxiety. The emotional intensity of the protests was palpable, with many participants expressing a deep sense of urgency. The message was clear: hands off our rights, our values, our future. The collective voice of the people demanded change, and it was impossible to ignore. This moment in history will be remembered as a powerful stand for democracy and justice. So, what exactly got people so fired up? What were the issues that brought so many out into the streets, chanting and holding up signs? Well, let's just say Trump's been busy. From controversial immigration raids that tore families apart, to a foreign policy that seems to involve more Twitter feuds than diplomacy, sparking international tensions, the list of grievances was longer than Trump's list of failed businesses. People were frustrated and felt unheard.
In Boston, the focus was on the plight of immigrant students caught in the crosshairs of Trump's immigration crackdown. These students faced an uncertain future. The arrest of Rümeysa Öztürk, a Turkish student near Tufts University, became a rallying cry, uniting many in their cause, a stark reminder of the human cost of Trump's policies. The emotional toll was evident on the faces of the protesters.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., protesters pointed the finger at the undue influence of wealthy donors on Trump's administration. They felt democracy was being undermined. Congressman Maxwell Frost called it a billionaire takeover, highlighting the irony of a president who campaigned on draining the swamp while cozying up to the swamp's wealthiest denizens. The hypocrisy was not lost on the crowd.
From immigration to the economy, healthcare to education, the issues were varied but interconnected. The protests were a tapestry of anxieties, each thread representing a different concern, a reflection of a nation deeply divided and uncertain about its future. The voices were many, but the message was clear: change was needed. You know you've messed up when even Canada's thinking about building a wall to keep you out. That's right, folks. Trump's unique brand of diplomacy has managed to ruffle feathers even in the Great White North.
Protesters in London were spotted chanting "Hands off Canada" and "Hands off Greenland," a clear message to the man who seems to think he can annex territories with the same ease he fires off angry tweets.
It wasn't just about territorial ambitions, though. Trump's handling of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, his inability to broker a lasting peace deal, and his constant bickering with Ukrainian President Zelensky also came under fire. The world was watching, and let's just say they weren't impressed. It seems Trump's America First policy has left a lot of the world feeling like they'd rather be last. Section 4, Billionaires and Budgets, the Politics of Influence. Remember all those promises about draining the swamp?
Well, it seems the swamp has been drained all right. Drained of funds for essential services and flooded with billionaires whispering sweet nothings into Trump's ear.
Protesters in Washington, D.C. were particularly vocal about the influence of big money on Trump's policies, especially the role of tech mogul Elon Musk.
Musk, who has been advising Trump on a range of issues, has been pushing for drastic cuts to federal spending, including cuts to education, healthcare, and retirement benefits.
The irony of a billionaire advocating for austerity measures while the working class struggles to make ends meet was not lost on the protesters.
The message was clear. This isn't governance, it's a fire sale, and the American people are the ones getting burned.
Section 5, Trump's response, tea time over turmoil. So, how did the leader of the free world react to this unprecedented display of dissent and frustration? Well, if you guessed he locked himself in the Oval Office, poring over policy papers and desperately trying to appease his disgruntled citizens, you'd be wrong, dead wrong. Instead, Trump did what any rational, level-headed leader facing a national crisis would do. He hit the golf course. That's right, folks. While millions marched and chanted, Trump spent his weekend working on his short game at his luxurious Florida resort. It seems the only thing Trump's interested in draining is another putt on the green. Section 6. Counter-protest, perspective, meaningless exercises. Now, it wouldn't be fair to paint a completely one-sided picture, would it? After all, even in the age of Trump, there are still those who stand by the man and his policies.
Take Tom Homan, for example. Homan, a Trump immigration advisor, dismissed the protests as nothing more than meaningless exercises in free speech.
Homan even went so far as to complain about a protest that took place outside his vacant New York home, claiming it diverted valuable law enforcement resources.
One can't help but wonder if Homan would be singing the same tune if it were his rights and freedoms under threat.
It seems the right to protest is only sacred when it's not inconvenient. Section 7. A global chorus, solidarity, and a call to action. The hands-off movement wasn't just about Trump. It was a collective outcry against injustice, a unified stand against oppression in all its forms. It was about something much bigger, something that transcended borders and ideologies. It was a call for global solidarity, a demand for universal human rights. It was about the fundamental right to dissent, to hold power to account, to fight for a better future. It was a reminder that our voices matter, that our actions can make a difference. From the streets of America to the squares of Europe, the message was clear. We are not powerless, we are not voiceless, and we will not be silenced. We stand together, united in our diversity. The fight for a just and equitable world continues, and it's a fight we must win together. Every voice, every action counts in this ongoing struggle. And hey, if you believe in this message, if you stand with the millions who raised their voices this past weekend, then hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's keep this conversation going. Your support amplifies our collective voice. Because in times like these, silence is not an option. We must speak out, stand up, and act for what is right.